Hey, what's going on? This is Madden Money Shot. First off, I'd like to thank you for purchasing my Madden 19 Saints ebook, whether you purchased the full video or the ebook itself. If you have any questions or have trouble downloading this, please contact me with my contact information at the top of MADDENMONEYSHOT.com's website. Other than that, if you're watching the video, just continue watching, and if you have the ebook, click the first link so we can get started. Next up, out of the Pistol Bunch TE, we have the Strong Power. This plays really good. All you do is flip it. You're going to run behind your receivers. You can put tight ends where the receivers are to make the play even cheesier if you want to. As far as the pass play goes, the Pistol Punch TE cross drag is pretty good. You're typically going to follow the crossing routes, and then you're just going to hit the triangle route. That was a man coverage, so he's just going to get exceptionally going against man coverages. Your user might be smart enough to drop into these routes, so in that case, you're just going to have to take one of these drag routes and hope for a better catch and run. Against zone coverage though, if the user's not smart enough to drop back, the triangle route is good against zone coverages too. So that play should work against man or zone as long as the user's not dropping into it. If he does, take a drag. Up next out of the Pistol Bunch T, we got the verticals. So I just like to put Watson on a drag or a slant or a drag. It really doesn't matter. You can see that was pretty much a house blitz. So he got open right away. If you put him on a drag, I mean the running back pretty much comes open on that route variation anyway, but they're at different spacing, so it's still worthwhile venture. And then these outside routes are pretty good too. The circle route's probably the best. When the user's following the tight end and the running back, the circle route's going to get open. Cover 3 would be triangle. On to the money stuff, the gun plays, the split offset. Is the Saints middle is a pretty good play. Let's go ahead and pick that. I like the motion out Kimura. Get this guy open in the flat right away. Also, you can put this guy on an out route underneath these coverages because the coverage is probably going to drop back, giving you an easy catch and run. It wasn't the biggest play, but it's all right. Yeah, but Ginn's not always going to get open. He would be probably the biggest play, but he's not always going to be there. So that's why the running backs are important. Cover 2, the circle route can get up the cover 2, but it's not, once again, it's not always going to be there. Nice catch, nice play. Read the cover 2 zone there. I would also say that Thomas might be better served on a slant. If you motion him in, he stops right here, which is probably more effective. In this scenario, you can also put him on an out route, smart route him, in route. There's a couple different things, but he's probably more flexible than any other route in this formation. Next up out of the gun split offset, we got the halfback slip screen. I'm not a huge fan of screenplays, but I'll get on a screenplay like this where you can have the option of throwing to Ingram pretty immediately. I like that play much better, so you have an outlet. Because so many screenplays are like screen or death, where if the screen doesn't work out, then you're in trouble. So that's why, like I said, I like something that has an instant open route on the other side. Next up out of the gun split offset, we have the X dig. So motion out Ingram the same way. I wish I had more space though. We're going to move the ball over. So we're going to motion out Ingram. It'll look like it's a flat beater once again, but you're going to see how he turns up the sideline pretty good there. You can see it also creates a throwing window for this guy who makes a nice catch and almost gets into the end zone. Would have been if it was from 30 yards out. You can also put Ginn on a streak. I feel like that could help to create a throw window for Kimura. As you can see, he's just kind of getting to the sideline and getting a pretty easy play as he gets jammed off. I also like putting Ginn on a streak. I just feel like that'll open up the window to Meredith more. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to probably hit Meredith this time as he's coming open in between the two coverages and with a nice tough catch. So I'm going to put Ingram in that slant one more time. Try to get my man open up the seam here. It's just an easy catch and run. Not a lot of coverage on him. I think the best route to put Ginn on is an in route and then smart route it, and he'll do the most for both plays in this scenario. As you can see right there, he's just kind of getting in the way and creating that space. But the slants are really good one too. I think I just put him in a drag. So there we go. Easy catch and run. Easy yards. Next up, the only run play in this entire playbook, or this entire formation, is the halfback power L. Motion out the running back again. So it uniforms the plays, and then look at that, you got space. It's a good, easy run. I don't think that keeping him back is as effective. I like giving him that jump start. You can run it just like this. I find that motioning out the fullback gives him a little bit of a head start. But obviously, you know, the results of keeping it stock is pretty good too. Next up, out of the gun way off trio week, we have the safe deep in. All we're going to do is we're going to put Thomas on an out route and then pass block. I mean to do that. Pass block the tight end. So I have a little bit of time. I like to put Watson here on a flat route. That's pretty much what he's doing anyway, but I just want it to be a little bit more instant. And you're going to see he's going to pull coverage for the X route there and get in. Waiting for him to create that route on his own could take more time than I'm willing to give, but it definitely works to create space for this guy. So we're going to do that one more time. If the X route's open like this, you got to take that. It's an easy 5 or more yards catch and run. Do this one more time. As you see there, it creates that throwing window. The route combinations create that throw. Next up, out of the gun tight offset TE, we have the Y out halfback swing. So all I'm really going to do is put Doug in on an out route, put Watson on a streak, and that's the play. Now the tight end, Watson will get open quite a bit, but the circle route is going to be especially explosive. As you can see, he's a one play TD against cover 3 there. Don't forget about your bench switch looking concept on the left side, because that's obviously a good play. And here we go, we got our man running free. I don't know what that coverage was, but it definitely got rocked. So Watson can get open too. You just have to, there's wide open triangle route right there. Only thing. Oh, let me get in. No. Alright, whatever. Big play. Next up, out of the tight offset TE, we have the Saint spot shake. All I want to do is put the X route on a fade. And that's going to basically create a one-on-one with this guy, which he can't flip his hips fast enough for a big play. I also want to put the circle route on a drag, just so he'll get open a little bit better. He'll be a really good check down. But we're going to go ahead, we're going to keep beating this dude up over the top. You just can't hang with him, you know what I'm saying? You're going to get a coverage mismatch. So I'm going to do that fade. I'm going to roll out so we can get a little bit of time. That underneath route's wide open, but you see eventually this guy has to drop back and take down the underneath route away. Eventually that guy is going to have to come back to that circle route, who's going to be just wide open. And there we go, we just got a spot there. No. So fade the X, drag Meredith. You can block the running back if you want. And we're just waiting for this guy to clear. And we're going to end it on that touch. Easy touchdown right there. Next up, out of the gun tight offset TE, we have the inside zone. The inside zone, you're going to want to keep the inside zone in your arsenal. You can motion block a guy, but I can't say that it helps out too much. The best run play in this formation is definitely the inside zone. If your opponent gets too pass heavy, you have to keep him balanced with this. And the Owen trap's not too bad either. Next up, out of the gun tight offset tee, we have the bench. So all we're going to do is motion over Thomas and put the circle route on a streak. You could also leave him the circle route the way there was, but I think that this is a better look. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to have that right up to cover 2 there. If he can get going, that's what the streak is for, cover 2 beater. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to do this again. I'm going to smart route again. The X route can get open too. I don't know, maybe this look here, but he's definitely an option. You got to keep an eye for the X route. I mean, this is also a bench switch. A lot of people like the bench switch. I'm not a fan, but you can run this as is. I'm making one play touchdown looks out of it. But there's definitely a couple more options. There we get the cover 2 beater again. You got to pass lead that inside and bullet pass it, by the way. So I'm hoping to get a cover 3 look here. This looks like it might be it. And it gets B over the top the same way. I'm going to act like that happened. That didn't happen. He caught that and ran for the touchdown. Let's just put it that way. We're going to move on, but that's how the cover 3 gets beat. Next out of the gun bunch, we have the, where did I just see it? The verticals. So right here, all we're going to do is we're going to drag Thomas. Put Meredith in a motion here. And we can tell already we got this guy. You see how that guy dropped down for the drag route? That's going to make him get open. If no one drops down for the drag route, he'll get open underneath all of these pulling zone coverages. I thought he was going to stay, but it worked out anyway. I'll take it. If nobody drops down over Thomas, I'm sorry, if nobody drops down for Thomas, he's going to be open underneath all these, and then it turns into like kind of like a screen because they're down there blocking by the time he catches it. So let's go ahead and let's motion block this guy again. This motion's really all about getting open the X route, but if you see this guy, you got to take him instantly. He's your first read. Your first read's R1. Your last read, your check down is, ooh, he's open over there. That also is what the motion route's for. You try to get that guy open quick. So I guess really your first read is Meredith. You're seeing if he gets that open look, like he got 2 plays in a row right here. So I guess that's really your first read. But then your next read is what Watson's doing. He's just getting open every time now. I don't know what's going on there, but if he's there, take it. So we're going to do this one more time. Hopefully he gets covered this time. Yes, he does. And if this guy reacts to the drag, the longer that play goes, the longer he's going to drop down to the drag and then hit the tight end. So a couple different, ways that these guys all get open. Like right here, he just turns his hips and runs. If he turns his hips and runs, he's going to stay with him. If he turns around, or if he's backing up in a pedal, then he's not going to turn and run with him. So a couple different plays. If you get a man coverage too, the R1 route is going to be one of the better ways to go. If it's a man coverage, the R1 route and the drag is the best way to go. Next out of the gun bunch, we have the Z spot and go. It's really more of a pro favorite play than it is a favorite play of mine. I mean, it's pretty much a stock look, but you can see how these slanting outside receivers get open. Can't say I really run this play too much, but if you practice it and you get all the adjustments down, it can be a real issue. This guy over the middle too is a really good mid read. This outside play, you kind of got to throw in the break and bullet pass it to get that separation. He won't get that separation on his own all the time. Next up out of the gun bunch, the mesh. This play's another one where you're going to dot somebody up on the outside. Pass block, block the running back. I don't want to have that, but basically you got your circle route to the outside. Unless they don't cover the X route, then you're just going to catch and run that for easy yards. But your circle route on the outside, your what is essentially 2 drags on the inside. As you can see, they're running man coverages, and it's just no chance for them to get out there before that gets open. It's really got to be a cover 2, and that's where you're going to have your challenge. Your challenge on a cover 2 is where is this guy dropping? Here we're just going to go ahead. We're going to just dot that up. That's real easy. I mean, that's a zone, but it's just easy to beat that. But this play is it's just pretty easy reads. You're pretty much looking to one side of the field, even though I doinked off his back. But it's really those 2 guys. And then like I said, they're not really drag routes, but they're going to beat man coverages, and you got them coming across one another over the middle of the field. One of them's going to get open. Next up out of the stack Y flex, we have the drive H wheel. This play right here, I did a couple of things earlier where I was motioning out the running back. That's going to be the same idea this time. I want to put Thomas here on a streak so that I can create some space for said running back. That's pretty much it. I should probably run it from the far hash mark so I got more space. I'm not catching so close to the sideline. So every little bit of yard counts for this guy. Now, if it's a man coverage, Kamara should be able to beat that up the sideline too. See if we get that. I mean, that's I don't know what that is. That's just unfair. You know what I'm saying? Like, that dude's trailing from a mile away, so I don't know. Maybe it was a man. If it's a man coverage, you're going to see those type of things. Gonna do it again. Man blitz is instant open, even though I didn't catch it. Really good man blitz beater because of how he gets open so quick, and he's probably going to be covered by a linebacker. He's just basically just sprinting to the sideline. That's the idea. So working the other two receivers, not too difficult, but I'm probably going to end up staying over here. I mean, for the most part, all the action on this side. But let's try to get that triangle route. Get her done as we can throw in the break. And that gets the type of outside routes open, throwing on that break. This short route ain't too bad either. But it's not, you know, it's not explosive. You can get catch and runs out of it sometimes though. Next up, out of the gun double Y flex off week, we have the sail. Yeah, this play, it kind of works the way that it is, but I just find that square and triangle get in each other's ways a lot, so just want to find a way to get them alone by themselves as you throw. I led that up, by the way, and bullet passed it over Bobby Wagner though. So like I said, you can run it like this. I just find like when you want to throw this ball, they kind of get in each other's way, and it's still effective. But ultimately, it's a pretty good play just like this because of that triangle route. It's pretty dirty. As you can see right there, he's just gone. I probably have a touchdown here. But that's a really good route this year, no lie. Next play out of the gun double Y off week, we have the Saints mesh wheel. Another play where you can motion out the running back. He's going to get open pretty easily in some space. And catch and run up the sideline if you got an athletic running back. That's another play like that. There's some pretty good routes on the field other than that. I like the motion over. This guy put him on a drag. If you got a cover, if you got a man cover, this is going to be a pretty good setup. I don't really have that right now, but you can see how the triangle gets open. I tried to turn up the field a little bit earlier, that's why I dropped it. But the comeback route that Meredith is doing is pretty useless. So I like motioning him out. If I'm not motioning the running back, I like motioning him out to the other side of the field, and you can see how the guy in the middle is open if the user's following the running back. So Meredith doesn't do much for me. Like I said, if it's a man coverage, I love to motion him over. And Thomas is a pretty good route. That's a route that could easily get usered, but the way the drags are going, it's either him or the drags. So you really have to choose. You got double drags, which is tough to cover. So you have a couple of tough to cover routes in Thomas and then the drags. So double drags are always tough for the defense. So pick your poison if you're trying to cover both of these. You know, double drags will catch and run. Piece of cake. Next up out of the gun tray open, we have a specific play for cover 2 beater. We got the dig and go. So on defense, we're gonna pick Tampa 2, which has the cloud flats. Doesn't really matter what type of cover 2 you pick, but we're gonna put Meredith here on a drag. I don't necessarily need too much space, but what we're gonna do is we're just going to watch him as he doesn't quite commit to that route and he gets beat easily. What it really is I'm pass leading, bullet passing and pass leading outside once I watch that hesitation, and if he can get up that sideline, he can be gone. So like I said, fade route, doesn't quite commit, bullet pass lead, you know what I'm saying? If he gets past that safety, he's gone. I would say a tall receiver probably is the most important part to this, but like I said, he just hesitates that little bit because of that zigzag coming back. And this is just easy money. And that safety, that's cover 2 safety. So easy cover 2 beater, and like I said, he can get going. He can take it to the house. So we're gonna. Next up at the gun tray open, we have the PA wide receiver in. This play here, I just like to put Watson on a slant because I'm just trying to pull that window for that circle route, and you can see how out of position that first defender gets. It's Bobby Wagner, he's getting out of position. So it just moves him just enough that you can come back over the top and hit that receiver. I also like to put the square route on a crossing pattern with Watson. Put him on double slants so that if he doesn't bite, you have some options there as well. There's a nice catch. So put them both on slants. First read is circle or R1. Having trouble talking, or R1 there. So double slants. Looking at the throw right away because it was a full house blitz again. So here we go. Does it create the window? No. So we're going to bullet pass outside. Did not create the window, so we saw the other one route. Next up out of the gun tray open, we have the Salem. This play here, all I'm going to do is put the R1 on a drag. I can also motion out Kimura if I want to, but it's not 100% necessary. We're really looking at the tight end and the R1 route. As you can see, the tight end pulls back a throwing window once again for the R1 route. You can throw to Kimura. A user might not follow as hard to the backside that you know that this linebacker does, so you're just gonna have to throw over him. So you really have to choose one, and the other one's really the play. But like I said, Kimura, you know, he just kind of gets to the sideline too quick. But you can see how, you know, obviously that's a good play. So you might want to work Kimura to the point where the user starts paying attention to that more, and then you can hit him with these other routes. So it's really two sides to each play here. Next up out of the gun tray wide flex, we have the PA crossers. This play here doesn't really need any adjustments. If it's a man coverage, this circle route is going to be absolutely deadly. And even against zone, as you can see, that tight end pulls it down to the point where this guy gets past it. A really dirty play. I tried to pass lead back, or bullet pass and pass lead back, but it just didn't work out. So here we go once again. This is, I guess this is a man. Doesn't really matter. He should be gone. I'm just like slight flubs. I'm not quite getting him gone, but he should be at one play. No adjustments to this play at all. So here we go once again. He's not going to be the man this time, so we're going to go back over across to the triangle route. Who's trailing? So one of these guys should be open. So a really good play to run stock, but I like to run it when all these guys are pulling. You have a really good throwing window right up the middle. I mean, you have a high and a low route there. You could also put Watson on a drag and pull that coverage down even more. But like I said, I like to throw underneath the pulling coverages with the X route, which is typically there pretty easily. And if the user wants to follow the tight end, there's so many other routes going on that's going to make them pay. Good Lord, look at this. I don't know what's going on. That was a zone as far as I know, but it was really busted. So a really tough play to cover. Oh, now we got that man coverage. Like I said, anytime you got a man, you just loft that up, and it's just as easy as a touchdown as you're going to see. Next up out of the gun tray wide flex, we have the fake screen wheel. This play, one plays just about everything you will see on defense. It's the triangle route's probably the most successful one. As you can see, it gets deep by about 10 yards. Even if you run a cover 2 and you mid-deep the blue safety, it doesn't matter. This guy here is going to get going. He's going to get past it as they catch him right at the goal line. Real heroes right there. Not a lot to this play. All you really have to do is buy time. And the triangle route's pretty much the guy floating him up there. I mean, he's just beating that by a mile. Next up out of the empty Y Saint, we have the Slug Wheel. So here all I'm going to do is I'm going to put Watson on a slant, motion out Alvin Kamara. He has a pretty good chance of getting wide open in the flat right away and turn up the field for an easy catch and run. If the user starts following this, you can motion snap him too, by the way. If the user starts following this to try to take it away, then the middle of the field will be open for the slant. You can also put Thomas on a streak. And against certain cover 2s, Kimura will be going up the sideline for some real easy yards. You can see how that pulls the window for the tight end though as well. Forgot to put that dude on a streak. It's all good though. So he's got like 10 yards of separation and he's already accelerating up the field. So like I said, put this guy up for cover 2 plays. And you might see that guy get going against him. I waited a little bit too long to throw that, but you know what? It worked out. Bad posture and all. You could also put this dude, Watson, on a flat route, and he can get open against that quite a bit for an easy catch and run himself, but it's not the focus of this play. I have other plays like that. If you want to work Kimura in a different type of play like that, put him on a flat, and you're going to see how he gets open and it doinks off his back there. You can make that play with Kimura too, where you just put him on a flat route, you just flip the play, and Kimura will get open. A little bit better athlete can get open in the flat. Pretty much the same way, but obviously it's not as explosive. Next up, we got the deep in. So I like to cross these inside guys. I like this play for goal line too, by the way. Motion over again. If he doesn't have somebody directly in front of him, he's going to get open to the flat. Now, I don't know why he stopped, but he's going to usually catch it and run. So like I said, nobody's in front again. He's going to get open. Now, I got safety drop down, so he's probably going to take that away. So I'm going to have to go to my my slanting inside receivers, which are pretty beast. Real easy. So he dropped down again, so I'm moving across. If nobody follows, he's going to be open. So nobody followed. So he keeps stopping. I think that's EA's way of fixing this when I put it out originally. EA always breaking my plays, man. Always breaking my plays. So right here, once again, we have what could be a cover 2. That guy shifted, so he's probably going to take that away. So I got to go to these slants, which are just as equally deadly. Next up, out of the gun empty Saint, we have the Saint's fork. So this one right here, all I'm going to do is Slant Meredith. I can either streak Watson or put him on a slant. It really doesn't matter. If you streak him, he's going to be really good against cover 2s, though. I can already see I have the R1 route. That R1 route is just crazy good. As you can see, he's good for catch and run through double coverage, apparently. That's how good that route is. The triangle route is probably one of the more consistent routes, other than the X route here. When he breaks, I mean, he's just got that dude in his pocket, but he's facing him. He's right in front of him. You can also put Watson on one of these. You can, you know, he's pretty flexible. You can do whatever you want with him, but you know, that's if you're trying to get a couple of yards, that might be the best way to go. The tight end is really like an everyman position. It does whatever you need to do. And then, like I said, the running back there, he'll get forgotten about because the user will be trying to stop these deeper routes. And then we got my boy back there. Probably could have caught and ran that, but it's all good. I usually possession. Next up, out of the empty Y Saint, we have the Saints Go Whip. This play, I used to run this play kind of different. I would motion over Watson here. I don't know exactly why I did that, but I would also slant Meredith. This was, you know, these are all good ways to do this, but for whatever reason now it's like a really cheap play. You don't have to change it at all. Now you just kind of run it, and I guess the tight end kind of pulls the cover 3 safety aside and gets his pants pulled down because this guy just gets toast over the top. Like there's no adjustments at all. It's crazy. I also like this slanting Meredith. You know, real simple adjustment. You can see he's just screaming open there, and the user has to choose between the triangle route and the tight end. Need more help or just want to show your support? Then head over to my Patreon and join my team, where you can get exclusive content like ebooks and bonus plays, as well as early access to my vids and more. Link in the description below.